the Department of Science, Innovation and Technology, for those who are not aware of us or our new department. There are quite a diverse range of organizations on this call. You know, I'm going to start at a very high level. Can I just say that this session will be recorded? So we've got a record of everything that was pitched during the next 2 hours or so. If we could go just to the next slide, please. So just to give a very quick high level, for those that know, we are responsible for the Future Telecoms initiative within DSIT. And part of that is looking at the future telecoms infrastructure in the UK. And we basically are here to help government policy achieve their objectives in the market. And we do that via competitions. And as many will know, we've done a number of competitions over the years, such as Frank, the FON-RC, UK TIN has been developed with us, and Sonic, etc. So we're well versed to this, and this is our latest iteration. It's the one competition. We announced it at an event a couple of weeks ago in London. One stands for the Open Networks Ecosystem Competition. So again, for those that don't understand much about this, and I know there's quite a diverse audience here, you know, we are very much looking at diversifying the supply chain in telecoms in the UK. This is directed by government policy, and we then set out to achieve that via competitions. So our objectives here are really about you know, supporting open innovation and open interfaces between products and solutions. We want to make sure that telecoms is secure as possible in the UK, along with our partners around the world. And that's why we have these objectives in the form of competitions. And, you know, really what we want to do is create as much innovation as we can in this market. There's only so much government can do. You know, we are, you know, a market economy, and we are led by many of the significant players, SMEs, entrepreneurs, some of whom are on this call. And we're excited about working with them, but we also have to direct what, you know, the policies coming down and how we can achieve those aims. So the one competition is all about expanding that ecosystem. And to do that, we need user cases, we need software players, we need hardware players, and we need everyone to work together. And that's the point of today. For those that aren't aware, the competition is up to 80 million in funding. We're looking at bids in the range of 1 to 10 million. And we're looking at consortiums. So obviously there'll be partners that can bring certain things to the consortium, and that makes a good bid for us. It is a short time frame. The competition closes on the 23rd of May. So that's only 5 weeks from today. So it is quick. And so we do ask that anyone who is interested in looking at this and taking this seriously as an opportunity, they start working on it pretty quickly. And certainly from my perspective, I look forward to working with many people, hopefully on this call, who can form partnerships and other ecosystems to move this forward. So I'll stop talking now. I'm going to hand over to my colleague, Will McKinnon, who's going to go into much more detail on this. And then we're going to get to the exciting bit, which is watching all the presentations. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Simon. I'll just move on to the next one. So I'm the diversification lead in the Future Networks program, working with Simon very closely on the one competition. I've got a few kind of key slides. I'm not going to try and kind of retread too much over what we talked about in the briefing event, because that information is kind of widely available. So I won't be talking too much about kind of scope, you know, in detail. I thought I'd talk more about, you know, the consortia model and kind of the roles within consortia to give a bit more info, because that's kind of why people are here today. But if you haven't seen the briefing event, you know, we're going to be having links, and this will be coming out, which has all of them in. So one of my colleagues is going to be putting the links into the sidebar as well. So please do review that, review the guidance, you know, for more detail on the scope. Just very quickly, the kind of key areas we highlighted. So kind of underneath those overarching kind of Open RAN R&D objectives, 3 areas that have been highlighted to us through a lot of our kind of research and industry engagement. One, which is about the kind of high demand density environments, a really important place where we can demonstrate, you know, open network technology working in a really, really high standard. Second one, kind of developing more open and interoperable software with a focus kind of on RIC. has been highlighted to us very consistently, and then developing hardware solutions for open interface infrastructure. So it's quite a wide range of things you could be doing, underneath this. It is trying to kind of get a wide portfolio targeting these things. When you read through the scope, we do have significantly more detail on these. Please do not think that that means we're not open to any ideas outside of RIC, HDD, and specific hardware solutions. As long as you're kind of targeting those key objectives that Simon referred to there, we're interested in seeing your bid. So I think if you are worried about that, please do get in contact with us. We can have a talk with you about it. But this isn't to kind of, we don't see ourselves as understanding everything, the end all be all. If you have a fantastic solution that is outside of these kind of areas, please do come and speak to us, and we can reassure you that we're also interested in seeing it, as long as you can demonstrate how it's achieving our kind of key objectives. Moving on. So just a quick reminder of the timeline, as Simon said, the key dates there. You can see the 23rd of May is the deadline, just before kind of midnight going into the 24th. So please do get your bids in before that point. There's a bunch of stuff going on this week. So we've just done a subsidy control kind of teach-in, which is going to be on UK tin, and we're doing a commercial and finance teach-in tomorrow. So again, a lot of those questions about more detail, how does the bidding work, how does what can you claim for, that sort of thing, will be covered in those. So please do have a look at those. Moving on. So kind of leading a bid. This is, obviously what you're going to be needing to do if you're kind of thinking about bidding. We've got, I think, 20 people who have said that they're interested in leading or are already leading a bid. So there's a lot of you out there. Just being aware of what you're kind of responsible for. It's, you're mainly the biggest point is the single point of contact for DSIT. So if you're a project partner, DSIT as us aren't speaking to you directly. We speak to you through the project lead. There might be times where you kind of have contact with us, but the lead partner is the one who's going to be managing the consortium, disputing the money, making sure that the project is, you're gathering the information from the project and things like that. So it is a larger, it is an administrative role that needs to be taken. Just a couple of points here about common misconceptions. Just because you're leading the bid doesn't mean you need to be the biggest entity or play the biggest role. In fact, in the past, some really successful projects, the only role the project leader has played is managing the consortium. It is a big job depending on the size of the bid. We're talking £1 to £10 million of match funding. So these are significantly sized projects. It does need effective project management to be successful. And the second point, while we do encourage commercial entities to lead the bids, a very common, and often very successful, they can also be led by public sector bodies as well, such as universities and local authorities or research organizations and so on. So there is no hard and fast rules on who can lead a bid. You do have to justify it to some extent. Obviously, it could make sense for a large company to do it, but we've had quite small companies leading bids with serious, very large partners. And it's just a kind of discussion with us and just saying, are you sure you can manage it? Do you have the systems in place? That sort of thing, which will be part of your bid. So don't feel like just because you're a small company, you can't be leading a bid. You absolutely can. Just be aware of kind of your responsibility in that. So some just very quick best practice stuff. The delivery team kind of has said, these are kind of some of their top tips. So making sure you've got your project management and finance lead in place, ideally early on, preferably at the bid stage, just so they have a really good understanding of what the bid is and what they're going to be trying to achieve. You're making sure the collaboration agreement is completed early. And this is a really important one, which we've had issues with in the past, is really, if time is short obviously on these, but if you can agree ways of working at the bid stage, this will save you a lot of time later on, because as we all know, the devil is in the detail. And when it starts to become, the contracts need to be signed and things like that, tied to milestones, etc. It's something that needs to be, if it's sorted out earlier, it will save a lot of time. So the second side, which again, I think we've got 90 people, who signed up saying they wanting to be a project partner. Completely understandable, good ratio. They're just making sure these are kind of your responsibilities here. You're not regularly speaking with us. It can be quite, you can be quite distant from DSIT, or or you can be quite more involved in the management of the consortium. It depends on what role you want to play. But your kind of key parts that you're responsible for is making sure that you're doing the information set out in the GFA, the grant funding agreement. You have to sort out the. Sorry, Jeremy. Is anyone else having this problem? I have been moving them forward, so I'm hoping they're moving forward as well.
I can see them, William.
Okay, great. Sounds like it might be a problem on your end, Jeremy. Sorry, we will be sharing them afterwards, so hopefully you can get. Oh, he's gone. Anyway, moving on. So we've got, making sure you're doing the things you're meant to be doing in the GFA, communicating with the project lead effectively, giving them the information they need to be able to report to us, so they will, pass on the requests from DSIT to yourself as a project partner. So it is further removed. The other part that we don't really talk about in these ones, which obviously doesn't, because it doesn't access you to funding, but it's a supplier role. And I think we've got quite a few people who have signed up as potentially being interested as a supplier. We're just, we're very interested in people being suppliers as well. It's still kind of helping us develop the ecosystem and things like that. But in that case, obviously, it's just a standard commercial agreement that you'll be doing. You won't necessarily have any of these requirements being part of the bids. One other way that we're thinking of trying to help out with some of the matchmaking is to set up this collaboration list. We've done this in the past and it's been relatively successful. So we've set up a Google form, which we're going to post the link in the chat, and then with the follow-up email as well, where you can kind of write about 500 words on your company. It's very similar to the slides that people are doing now. It's asking the same questions. And we're going to put this up on our gov.uk one competition website. And so it will just another way to allow people to kind of get in touch. So if you're interested in doing this, please fill out the Google form. We're going to have the first one go live on Friday, and we're going to update it maybe twice a week. So you can fill that out, and your information will be available for other people who are potentially bidding to reach out to you and get in contact. Once the competition is finished, the list will be removed. And obviously, if you'd like us to, remove it in advance, so for example, you found a consortia, you found your dream consortia, just please reach out to the inquiries mailbox, and we'll remove you at the next update, so people won't continue to contact you.
So William, quick question: how do we access this or provide you the information? What's the channel?
There's a Google form. Oh, it says need permission. So we'll fiddle with the Google form. In the follow-up email, we'll have this, we'll send it out as well. So don't worry about the link. We'll make it available after this. It sounds like there's a bit of a permission issue, but we'll sort that out as soon as possible. A final plug for UK Tin, they actually have a specialist guidance service. So we actually can't play too much of a direct role in matchmaking, but UK Tin is contracted by us to play some of this. They have a specialist guidance service, which they can potentially do matchmaking for you, put you in contact with other people. So please do reach out to that email there if you would like to access this service, and they can provide, put you in touch with people who know the ecosystem and potentially could put you in contact with other similar people such as yourself looking to form consortia. A few more things. Just a bunch of links there about kind of what's going on. Again, those key things, please do just make sure you're reading the competition guidance. That's the first kind of step. We've got the HDD technical guidance, and obviously if you haven't seen the briefing event, please do look at that. That kind of goes through the process in more detail, and you can kind of skip through that at your leisure. So getting on to the most interesting part of today, we're on to the pitches. So I think starting us off, we have our friends at Airspan. So you can just see the list there. We'll run through. Everyone has 4 minutes. I do have my phone and I am timing because we're already quite tight on time. So please do keep an eye on. I'll raise my hand, which comes up on the thing when you've got 1 minute to go, as a little reminder that you're getting near the end. So hopefully we can get through all of these. So if you're not presenting, please you just make sure you're on mute and your camera's off, and the person who is presenting can be heard. And I'll run through slides for everybody. So So airspan, who's presenting the airspan?
Hello.
Take us away.
All right. Can you please? All right, they're not showing well. Okay, we'll survive. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Gabriel Perez. I'm Technical Director for Airspan. And the reason why we are here today is to present how Airspan can contribute into a successful one competition bid. What could we bring to the table and how could we participate? Next slide, please. All right, so the first thing is that my contact details are at the bottom right side of the slides in case you would like to reach out after this. Okay, Airspan, it's been around for more than 25 years, developing different types of wireless technologies, most recently 5G. UK presence, we are around 100 employees based in the Slough office. We also have what it's called the Innovation Lab in Slough, in which we bring together different elements, different components of 5G solutions in order to tackle different use cases, which is key, it's vital for 5G these days. Next, please. All right, what we do, we are involved in public and private networks with MNOs. I would say that's our traditional market segment. We have been working with them for many years. In that sense, we have shipped over 1 million base stations globally. And with private networks, we are very active in this now booming market in several different fronts, different types of activities, as you can see in the slide. With private networks, I can say we have shipped around 450 private networks so far. Next, please. And so for the one competition, how could we participate? We believe we could be a project partner. Some discussions already about that going on. But also we could be a supplier of the 5G Open RAN solution. From our portfolio, based on the DSIT published requirements, this is what we have identified that would be a suitable solution. So we can bring RU, DU, and CU, completing the full RAM part. With the RU, you see in the slide, we have indoor and outdoor small cells 4x4, following the split 7.2. With the DU and CU, what you, I guess, would expect, which is containerized network functions running on a standard on COT servers, following the Open RAN architecture, split 7.2 and split 2. And also, which is, I think, important to mention, is ACP, which is our management system. ACP, it's fully aligned with MNO standards and requirements, meaning that we can capture all kinds of counters, metrics, KPIs, which we believe it's vital for a successful bid, because you not only need to deploy the technology and the solution, but after that you need to demonstrate that it's behaving, that it's performing, and that it's meeting the targets of the competition. So I think that's it from me today. Thank you very much for your time. Again, my contact details are at the bottom part if you would like to reach out. We'll be happy to talk. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Hopefully that worked. I've been told that the slide deck, the Google form for the collaboration list should be working now. So please do open it up. We'll obviously be sharing the link in the follow-up. Fingers crossed it is working. So on to our next group. Stax, who's
Hi,
talking?
Alexandra, presenting Stax.
Stax, sorry. Take us away.
Perfect, we can start. The next slide, maybe? Yeah, perfect. So we are Stax. We are based in Berlin, Germany, and we've been actually excubated from Deutsche Telekom Innovation Laboratory. We come from a distributed system research and crypto. And we operate for 2 last years as a startup independently on the market. And we can go to the next slide. So we created Stacks as a very lightweight protocol, which provides military-grade security and resilience. We also integrate service mesh in our networking, so the basically nodes on the network have an easier way to talk to databases or any available services that are present on the network, and also optimize some of the network connections if the network gets tricky, so to say. We as Stacks, we provide peer-to-peer networks, so it's a fully distributed network. And basically, in a nutshell, we are a distributed lightweight Kubernetes that can be used to manage containerized networking functions in a very secure and resilient way. And we can go to the next slide. Thank you. So just to make a little bit of deep dive, we are a team of professionals that have been spun out of the research of Deutsche Telekom. Currently we are working in with different networking technologies and can cover the use cases for the Open RAN infrastructure with the regard to RAC open interfaces, 5G to 5G connectivity within the manufacturing environments, and also security and reliability on the 5G networks. We would like to be a supplier or a partner. So we actually, even though coming from Deutsche Telekom, this use case will be really fairly new for us. So we would like to explore how our network and distributed, aka lightweight Kubernetes, can be used for RAC and Open RAN. We truly believe that distributed component can be very useful for this infrastructure. Also, part of our software is open source. And we are also providing RESTful APIs on top of our network that can simplify the work for developers with RAN resources. And we truly believe that we can provide a lot of value. So if anyone is interested within the framework of this program to look into Web3 technologies, crypto, and things that crypto and distributed technologies bring, please contact us. We would be really happy to explore this use case. And to see what we can do about this, topics like tokenization of networking elements, and again, making the network secure and reliable. And we can go to the next slide. And this is the last one with my contacts. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I will leave that to linger for a moment with your 41 seconds remaining. So very good timing. Again, I think give it another few seconds. We will be making these slides available, so please, have a review of them afterwards if you couldn't grab them as we kind of go through them. Also, we may be reaching, so a lot of you have okayed for us to reach out to you, and so we may well be doing that afterwards as well. If you're having difficulty getting in touch with people, as in you can't find emails and things like that, we can, if they've okayed, we can try and play a bit of a matchmaking role. Right, so on to our third presentation, we've got Blue House Technology.
Thank you, William. Yeah, can you switch? Thank you. Hi, my name is Chandra Malaparthi. I'm the founder and chief engineer at Blue House Technology. So I started my career as a telco engineer with Siemens in 1995. Since then, I have worked at various telco vendors such as Siemens, HP, Ericsson, and then with an operator EE in the UK for about 20 years. There I led a team which designed, developed, and operated core network systems such as AAA, PCRF, various billing mediation systems, A2P SMS gateways, and a variety of value-added services. By the time I left EE in 2014, the systems under my control touched almost every penny of revenue earned by EE. So that kind of gives you an idea of our pedigree. And since starting Blue House in 2014, we have developed from scratch a fully standards compliant AAA PCRF, an SPR, which is a subscriber profile repository, SCEF for narrowband IoT, and fraud mitigation system to combat SIM bundle fraud. We are experts at designing, developing, operating highly scalable and massively concurrent mission-critical systems. We've been using a platform known as Erlang OTP, which was developed by Ericsson for their own products, and this is the same tech stack that powers WhatsApp. Core networks is our comfort zone, though we have done some work on the RAN by implementing a subset of S1AP and RAN app to build a RAN simulator, which was then used to train core network data build engineers. The most recent project we've done for a customer is to build a proof of concept system to detect and decode 2G, 4G downlink signaling using an SDR. Once detected, these SIBs were decoded and streamed into an external system. We deploy software to various public clouds on a daily basis for our customers, and we are very comfortable with technologies such as Kubernetes and Docker Swarm. We have development teams based in India, Prague, and the UK, and we are a full stack software development team. We develop software, bespoke software for others, and we build our own products as well. We develop the backends, obviously, the front ends, and native apps as well. For all the products we ship, we offer 24/7 support service. We are looking for partners with whom we can jointly develop products and take to market. My contact details are on the next slide. So yeah, please feel free to get in touch. Yeah, we are specifically interested in the high density deployment use cases and the RIC. So yeah, that's it from me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So I'll leave that for the remaining 20 seconds we've got there. So thank you very much, everyone, for being on time. Again, they will be back up again, and that's a good idea as well. If you'd like to post a little something into the chat box with your contact details, feel free. That's a very good idea. And we'll move on to our next slide, which is from WM5G. Who's taking that one?
Okay, can you hear me? Yep, thanks. Okay, so I'm Rhys Enfield. I'm the Director of Infrastructure Acceleration within West Mids 5G. Talk a little bit about ourselves and our assets and capabilities. Next slide, please. So just to give you a bit of background, West Mids 5G was formed back in March 2019 when the West Midlands Combined Authority had won the 5G Testbed and Trials Project, Urban Connected Communities. We're a wholly owned company of the Combined Authority and basically delivered the 5G Testbed and Trials Project over a 3-year period. So we had 2 main aims. The first was to test, prove and scale 5G applications, services and products, where we effectively ran a 5G accelerator, did use cases in health, manufacturing and transport. And on our second objective was around accelerating 5G deployment, where we worked with mobile operators, local authorities and infrastructure providers to work at ways of speeding up delivery, which ultimately has resulted in the West Mids Combined Authority region having some of the best 5G in the UK. Next slide, please. So in terms of some of the outputs we've delivered, so I talked about use cases, so transport, multiple use cases, over 14 use cases, including a 350 road sensor network and connecting 5G on our local tram. Manufacturing, working with SMEs to test use cases and also putting a 5G network into the manufacturing training centre. Healthcare, connecting remotely a number of care homes and testing the technology. Also cancer diagnosis, so an endoscopy tablet, 5G driven, and also the first 5G connected ambulance. On the accelerator side, we've now worked with over 750 organisations to basically deliver SME programs, whether that be education or help to develop or applications and services. Next slide, please. So what are we looking for? Well, obviously we've got a lot of experience from the 5G testbed and trials project, the largest testbed that DCMS ran with. Proven track record in working with operators, towercos, vendors and local authorities to actually deliver an outcome. We have access to urban assets, so obviously the dense scenario works best for ourselves, but we work very closely with our 7 local authorities. We have Wolverhampton, Coventry and Birmingham are all cities with plenty of assets that could support this type of project. In our previous work, we've worked to accelerate the deployment of the delivery of 5G across the region, and so have skills in that area. And also we come from a telecoms background. Both myself and Chris previously worked for both vendors and operators. Experience of DCMS and DSIT competitions, so basically writing bids, winning bids and delivering them. We've had success on 5G testbed and trials, Frank, DCIA and UKT. And like I said, we're looking to maybe join a consortium on the high density demand opportunities, either as a partner or supplier potentially. And my contact details and Chris's are on there if anyone wants to get in touch.
Thanks very much. Thank you very much there. Definitely do get in touch. Again, moving swiftly onwards, please do put those contacts and a little bit into the chat box. I think it'll be really helpful. And our next one up is Sitena.
Sitena. Thank you very much, William.
Take us away.
Okay, if you could twist the slides, please. Okay, good afternoon, everybody. My name is Richard Payne. I am the head of UK and Ireland at Sitena. Sitena is a platform which supports the rollout of telecoms, primarily across small cells and macro. And if you could twist, I'll give you a quick overview of the team. So as a senior team, we set up Sitena approximately 3 years ago. Prior to that, we've all worked in telecoms and have delivered approximately $150 billion worth of projects across 40 countries. So Daniel, our CEO, has done over $100 million himself, primarily working in the world of spectrum. So he's worked with KPMG and Orange. Brian is our CTO. He spent a long time working with BAE Systems as an anti-cybercrime specialist there. Kip Meek is our chair, and Kip is also a chair of the Competition and Markets Authority in the UK. Personally, I have approximately 15 years experience working across Europe, mainly in the UK with MNOs and towercos. We are backed by Meris Capital, Samsung Next, Rebel Partners, and Y Combinator. So if you could twist, please. So a couple of reasons why would somebody look to partner with Sitena or look to use Sitena as a supplier. So just the first thing to note is that we have delivered 4 of the 8, so 50% of the DCIA pilots. Those pilots were delivered by DCMS to start with, now DSIT. We have a very strong relationship working with both DCMS and now DSIT. We started approximately 18 months ago. Our platform is ready to go thanks to all the hard work on DCIA. We have approximately 1 million local authority assets on the platform today. So those assets will be suitable for any number of trials in the high density deployment area. We certainly take security very seriously at Sitena. We've successfully passed the DSIT pen test. We're a SOC 2 accredited company. And as I mentioned, Brian, our CTO, spent a long time working with BAE Systems, so likes to run Cytena more like a military contractor rather than a platform provider. A partnership with Cytena, whether that be in the form of a supplier or co-partner, would save a lot of time in the front end stage of the HDD process. We've got the platform, we have the process, we've got the assets, we're ready to go. We currently have all of 4 major UK MNOs on the platform. The infrastructure providers are on board as well. And we feel at Cytena, we would add a lot of credibility to anybody's bid. So if someone wanted to lead a bid, we could come and bring with us 18 months of experience working with government and the platform, the processes, and the assets. So if you could just twist to the last slide, please. So as I mentioned, we launched in the UK Q1 2022 with 25 local government authorities on the platform, approximately 1 million assets. All the UK operators and major telcos are on board, and my contact details are on the slide. So if anyone wants to reach out, I'll be very happy to assist. Thank you, William.
Thank you very much. Leave it for your final 15 seconds. Let's see, who have we got next? Roll over. Illuminate Technologies.
Hello.
Yep.
Yeah, hello everyone. Next slide, please. My name's Craig Renfrew. I work for a company called Illuminate Technologies based in Edinburgh. We've been working in the area of telecoms for 25 years now. We started off in the area of 2G. So in the early noughties, we did a lot of work in the GSM RAN area. We developed an ABIS probe for GSM handset location. And that was to meet a United States E911 mandate for handset location in emergencies. So we developed a probe, we deployed that basically across all the major operators in the United States. And that really gave us a platform for all the work that we've subsequently done. Since we did the work in 2G, we've basically been working on passive probes for the other Gs. We did an RNC probe for 3G, and we've done an MME EU-TRAN probe on the 4G side. We've also kind of evolved a bit more into the area of lawful intercept. So as part of that work, we've developed basically a SIP IMS probe for core networks, and we've deployed that widely in the areas of basically roaming interconnect. So for LI, there's a kind of slight wrinkle in the specifications that it needs a passive probe for roaming monitoring. So we operate that in about 25 countries. And following on from our work in lawful intercept, we've become much more interested in the area of network security. I mean, I'm sure it's pretty obvious to this audience that mobile network security is actually quite a big thing. And we've been developing probes for network interconnect links. So for those of you who know what that means, that's like map and diameter interfaces. And we're looking for network attacks coming in from outside. But obviously, interconnect links between mobile networks is just one part of the story. There's obviously the RAN security story. That's actually attacks from the air interface side. And we all know how important that is in 5G. And also, the kind of whole Open RAN thing opens up another more opportunities in our view. So next slide, please. So the thing that happened in 4G in the LTE network is the RAN kind of went away. The equivalent of the 2G and 3G RAN kind of became embedded in the E node B. And what makes the Open RAN idea quite exciting for us as probe vendors is that essentially the RAN comes back and it provides a quite novel approach, a standardized approach to getting access to information on the radio network. And our proposition is really quite straightforward. Following on from our security story, we would actually like to develop an X app that will provide security in the RAN environment. That's really looking for things like denial of service attacks, security and authentication attacks, etc. And we've got a lot of previous experience in the RAN area, as I've tried to describe. And so our interest is we'd really like to be part of a consortium that's got a strong software component and a consortium that's actually interested in having a novel X app. And we would want to provide the security X app part of that story. You know, we can integrate it into our broader portfolio. But we think that would be quite a novel approach. And as I mentioned, we think that the Open RAN provides an interesting opportunity here that we're keen to work on. So if you'd like to get in touch, my details are on the next slide. Yeah, if you want to find out more about what we're thinking about X apps and the RIC area, please get in touch. Or if you'd like to just find out more about us in general, I'd be keen to talk to you. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Craig. And give me another few bits there. We're moving on to our next one. Got XMG. Ken.
Yes, hi guys. So my name is Ken Kamal. So I work for a company called XMG Ltd, basically based in central London. We are basically a systems integrator. We've been working in the microwave links, radio waves back in the day in the Silicon Valley and later in London. We, as a system integrator, we are interested in building an end-to-end system. And yeah, next slide, please. Yep. So there is a certain spec we follow. We do work as a systems integrator. We do work with quite a few known companies. But we still developing a product right now. Basically, this product is more like on the 5G space with the radio waves, like as applications we developed over the years. We work very heavily in the financial sector, and this one is more like on the, we call it like a mobile cloud. Or so we do have a real application, real clients. It was you can call high density data, because data we're talking about is like mainly dealing with some exchanges. We did this before with the microwave links, so now we try to expand and do it in the proper way. So that in that regard, so this is like kind of a baseline spec we're working on right now, and then and we build a system or customers or clients or the financial institutions we work can access to the system, access to the data, and then it's a very high sort path basically. So it's you're looking at like terabytes of data. So it's and in the past we worked mostly in the high frequency trading area on the microwave links. So we're interested mainly on the x86 architecture on the Open RAN basically as a base station CUDU. And we were testing. We're working with quite a few known systems right now. We evaluate them for this particular application. And we're also interested in this RAN intelligent controller, because the system we're building is like quite fairly sophisticated, and we are not limited to one vendor. So we can just, if someone has expertise on the RIC, we're willing to work with. And also the cloud architecture as well on the ORAN based. Next slide, please. So yeah, this just sums up like the applications we're working on. I think it's quite useful for London. Basically, like, so we are in the city of London anyway. So we do. So this kind of summarize what we're looking for, what we want to do, so and what we want. So it's fairly like standard, and we like to be partnered with the companies who are interested in basically. And my contact information is on the next slide. Yeah. Next slide, please. Yes, so this or environment. We are originally we were based in Silicon Valley, but we did a lot of stuff in the UK. We moved to UK in 2007, the predecessor of these companies. So it's all like C++, like Linux kind of development environment. We follow the standard development architecture. And if you guys are interested, below is our contact information.
Thanks very much, Ken. Okay, so okay, on to our next presentation. We've got Dorset Council, 5G Rural Dorset. Is that you, Colin? Are you taking this one?
Ready to go.
There we go.
Hi everyone, yeah, I'm Colin Wood. I oversee Dorset Council's wireless and digital innovation projects. Hopefully some of you have visited our beautiful area. My team sits in a service that's responsible for delivering connectivity, that's both fixed and mobile, but also digital skills and digital place leadership, so we're passionate about digital. Dorset Council is the 4th largest unitary authority in the country. It was formed just 4 years ago. And from the very beginning, our aspiration was to be a digital council in a digital place. So we see digital innovation as key to achieving many of our priorities as a council. That includes obviously economic growth and improved social opportunity. So significantly, we own and manage lots of assets key to delivering digital infrastructure, and we deliver most of the services in our area, including, importantly for this project, planning and highways. We've got a track record of working with DSIT, formerly DCMS, and our partners from industry, academia, and research organisations to deliver exactly this kind of project. So that would include the multi-award-winning 5G Rural Dorset project, and the Wessex Digital Infrastructure Accelerator projects. We led both of those projects. As well as having led successful bids and government projects like this one, we're pretty strong around collaboration and dissemination, I believe. If you Google 5G Rural Dorset, you'll get to see a taste of this, including appearances on BBC Click and that sort of thing. You'll probably know much of our area is rural, but we do have some fairly densely populated regions, not least in Weymouth. The picture down there on the screen of the beach pretty much speaks for itself. The population swells by kind of tenfold in the summer, and that causes real significant problems for network capacity. We also have really big events like Camp Festival, which attracts 30,000 people, and that's in our area. Just as an aside, South Dorset has the lowest levels of social mobility of any of the 533 parliamentary constituencies in England. So we just received £23.5 million worth of levelling up funding for Weymouth, and we see improving digital infrastructure and skills as key strands in tackling the social and economic challenges that we face in our area. Next slide, please. So Dorset Council does intend to lead a submission to the One competition, working with the core team behind the successful 5G Rural Dorset project. We're pretty advanced in our thinking at the moment around the areas to address in the bid, and we're already speaking to a number of potential partners, but we're really keen to hear from operators and vendors who may want to join a team with a real track record of delivery who can add value to our bid. And as we say on this slide, you've got to be willing to commit to the admin and the need to run a successful project like this. It really is a key part to delivering on time, on budget, all the things that DSIT want to see. There's a couple of photos there on the screen of the ministerial exposure that resulted from our previous Dorset Council-led projects. Next slide, please. So if any of that sounds interesting to you, please come and speak to us. We've got the resources in place as a local authority and the experience of managing a large project like this. We've maintained relationships with DSIT as the funder, and we can manage the admin and governance to ensure that things go smoothly and the innovators like you can innovate. That's the key to this. Our email addresses are on the screen. I'll be at the UK TIN launch next week if anyone's going to that. I can talk about the area, the challenges we face in our area, the high density environments and the management of the project. And my colleague Dave Happy, who brings technical knowledge and years of industry experience as a former vice president of Samsung's R&D labs in Europe, is up there on the screen as well. Dave, if you have the mic open, if you have anything to add, but if not, thanks for listening, and we look forward to hearing from you.
Respectful of your time at DSIT, thank you very much. We look forward to working with many of you into the future. Thanks for now.
Oh, very, very shiny there, and absolutely right. Like bids like that, ministers, they're like moth to a flame. So people will be visiting your labs and etc. like that. Okay, so thank you very much, Dorset. There. Let's on to our next one. We've got Atlas Technology.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Edward Cole. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Atlas Technology. We were set up in 2019 and we're based in the southeast of the UK, in and around London. Next slide, please, William. Right, Atlas Technology is set up as a platform provider dedicated to unlock Web3 applications across industry. We have unique proprietary software that enables sharing of verifiable credentials across a decentralized trust graph infrastructure. And for this, we've been recognized by the International Trade Council for our system for managing the cardiovascular health patient journey. Our platform is sector agnostic and is fit for deployment in healthcare, financial services, trading, and agriculture. It can be integrated with existing apps via standard interfaces and delivered on premise or as software as a service. We have a very strong bent towards risk and compliance in the way that we store and the way that consent is managed for sharing data across the network. Next slide, please. The value we bring to partners is to offer software to complement stakeholder data control. We were looking to support others in their bid with our application capabilities. What we bring is a portable wallet, which can be cloud hosted or non-custodial, that is a privacy enhanced technology, a privacy wallet, if you will, that is able to store and share data intelligently across a decentralized infrastructure. This adds a layer of privacy and security. It enables users to quantify and monetize traffic running across the network between nodes. And it operates on intelligent, what we call roll-to-roll, node-to-node, if you will, protocols for intelligent KPI reporting. Next slide, please. Atlas Technology supports a unique set of requirements, offering universal interoperability, cloud access, local network, and connectivity. It operates on a very low power consumption, and it offers a level of data protection and compliance and data surety. It's platform agnostic by design. It can run on various platforms and devices and can run on laptops or tablets. My name is Edward Cole at catlastechnology.io. Please do reach out to me if you're curious about our technology. As I say, we've got proven capabilities in the healthcare sector. We're also working with playing above our weight in areas of health, digital health. I've got your message. Digital health in Africa. So thank you very much for listening. And I'd like to speak to anyone who'd be interested in our technology.
Thank you very much, Edward. Really interesting stuff. And let's get that email address probably in the mailbox because it's quite small on the screen there. Okay, on to our next presenter. We've got Benatel.
Afternoon, William. My name is Tomasz Michnak. I'm a lead design engineer on 5G Benatel products. We can move to the next slide. So Benatel, we are an Irish telco company with 22 years of experience. We've designed and deployed high volumes of small cell base stations across the globe. For the last 4 years, we are focusing on ORAN-based radio units compatible with 7.2 front haul, Category A and Category B. They are optimized for the growing needs of the industrial and private network sector. We are part of the ORAN Alliance and also participate in Sonic Lab, Otic Labs, and PlugFest testing events. Our feature sets are optimized for enhanced performance, security, and with the aim of compliance with 3GPP and the Open RAN standards. We are open and deeply engaged with various OCU, ODU partners around the world. And we can move to the next slide. Our product line is divided into indoor and outdoor radio units. They both deliver excellent 5G throughput performance. We support different frequency bands in the NR1 sub-6 gigahertz range, and we've completed a number of partner integrations for the DU and CU side. Our radios support 4 antennas and signals up to 100 megahertz bandwidth. The feature sets that we develop are focusing on performance, scalability, energy efficiency, and security. We provide real-time reporting of KPIs over M-plane, which enables live monitoring of and optimization of cellular systems and better quality of service to customers. Our systems are modular and scalable. They optimize the time to market and minimize costs for the end customers. We implement a number of energy-saving features. We reduce inefficiencies in low traffic and also implement smart sleep modes in our radios. In terms of security, we ensure zero trust security by implementing MACsec, secure firmware, secure boots, and the PTP security profiles. If we move to the next slide. Yeah, so as I mentioned, we completed our integrations with all the primary partners in the Open RAN world. Our headquarters is based in Dublin, Ireland, where we have a state-of-the-art 5G laboratory for testing and supporting of the R&D. But we also have globally offices in UK, USA, Japan, and also in Poland. You can see our contact details below. We are keen to participate in the competition and to become a supplier in the consortium. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Another really good pitch there. I can already see links forming between potential organizations, so going definitely in the right direction. Next up, we've got SWIFT, or Smart Wireless Innovation Facility.
Yeah, hi, Stuart Fenton here. So we get to move on, please. So hi, I'm Stuart Fenton. I'm the Managing Director of SWIFT, which is the Smart Wireless Innovation Facility, which is based at the Clifton campus at Nottingham Trent University. I've been going for around 2 years now. We were a 1.6 million investment by the Nottingham Trent and the D2N2 local enterprise partnership. I work very closely with my technical director, who's on the call, Ivan Marjanovic. He's previously worked on a number of DCMS 5G projects, formerly Strathclyde University. Significant experience in the 5G telco world. So we can move on, please. So just a quick overview of what we are and what we do. So we're a commercial test bed that's based on a busy university campus. We run a private standalone and non-standalone 5G test bed. We also have a LoRaWAN network as well. We develop, trial, innovate new solutions for partners, and we also develop things in-house as well. We have a living lab, so we trial and test things on our environment. We have around 7,000 people every day on our campus, and we also have access to a number of the campuses that Nottingham Trent run. We have access to the NTU academics and students as well as having things such as electronics workshop and testbed facilities on site. Next slide, please. So what are we looking for? Essentially, we're looking to join consortiums. We're not particularly keen on leading it at this stage. Sorry, the slides haven't formatted that well. But what we can offer is testbed access on a real-world campus. We're kind of like a mini city in a condensed area. We have 7,000 people daily on our campus. We get access to sports, transport, building, you name it, on our little campus. We can do quite a lot. We have a number of opportunities to work with the different elements of Nottingham Trent University as well. So we have the medical facility, so Medical Technology Innovation Facility, which is all around technological innovation within hospitals. We have Brackenhurst, which is a working farm. So anyone that's looking at doing anything around agri-tech, we can help link up there as well. And obviously we have our city campus based in the middle of Nottingham, where we can get access to the buildings and work in that environment as well. So as mentioned, we have our own 5G testbed on the campus, running a SA and NSA mode. Really keen to collaborate and work on some of these bids, and I think my contact details are on the next slide. Brilliant. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Stuart. Really interesting stuff. Again, quite, you're seeing already, so I see the range of different companies that are kind of getting involved in this. So real big differences there, and definitely do reach out. On to our next one. We've got Cambridge Consultants.
Hello, I'm Fadi from Cambridge Consultants. Next slide, please. Yeah, thank you. Cambridge Consultants is a technology consulting and product engineering company. We've been doing commercial product development for more than 60 years. 800 engineers, technologists, and consultants, 140 labs. We run around 500 projects a year, and we delivered more than 5,000 IP and patents for our clients. We have a wide range of expertise that are very relevant to the three themes of the competition, from electronics and ASIC, radio systems, signal processing, embedded software, and AI ML capabilities that could be pretty much adding value for the development of these new products required. I'll give three examples of the type of work and projects that we've delivered previously. One of them, the first one, is SPL, Stratospheric Platform. We developed a large phased array antenna for them to run as a HAP, high altitude platform, broadcasting 5G, which was quite very unique, and it's going commercial pretty much this year. The second one is Smart Sky, which is a private jet company. We developed radio systems, 4G, to enable broadband 4G connectivity on flights. We also developed for them a service management platform to run and automate the service quality of the 4G network. The third example in private networks is Ocado in the UK. We built a high-performance private network with ultra-low latency to connect swarm of robots in their warehouses, which was quite unique, and it's been rolled out also in other locations. One example is related to Open RAN. It was an internal project. We developed an X app leveraging AI and ML capability to predict end-user experience without actually pulling data from the device using RAN parameters. So just to demonstrate these kind of capabilities, but this X app is actually available to be leveraged on this competition. Next slide, please. So as mentioned, Cambridge Consultants have delivered commercial-grade, high-tech products and projects previously, and we have a proven innovation track record. We have world-class project delivery capabilities, and we have extensive UK facilities. We're looking to be part as a partner in the bids. So if you're a company or a consortium looking for high-value engineering partner, we might be the right choice for you. The last slides, please, the contact details. And we have a few links for thought leadership about Open RAN and white papers. You can find them on our websites. I'll share the link also in the messages.
Thank you very much. Great, good stuff. And yeah, if you're going to make those, and I think we'll move on to our next pitch. Oh, Cambridge Consultants again. Maybe that's a mistake. Or is that not a mistake? I'm not sure.
It's a mistake. Yeah, it's done for
okay. Just thought I'd check. We've got, yes. I think it's supposed to say Scotland 5G. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that must be me. No worries. So good afternoon, everybody. I'm Luca Campanelonga, Technical Business Development Manager for the Scotland 5G Centre. We are the national platform for accelerating the deployment and the adoption of advanced connectivity in Scotland. And we are funded by the Scottish Government and have a pretty unique position as we work across industries, telecoms, academia, and innovation ecosystem, startups included. We are part of the University of Strathclyde in Glasgow, so we will classify as academic partner for this one competition, and we focus on four main areas. The first one is the coverage. So we work with the telecom industry to enable the rollout of new connectivity technologies. The second pillar is that we support organizations procuring and deploying 5G networks. We demonstrate the value of 5G and advanced communications to businesses across strategic vertical sectors. And finally, we support innovation across the country with our national presence. And if we can go to the next slide, please. Thank you. So speaking about national presence, we have a range of 6 innovation hubs across the whole country. We are namely located in Dumfries, Kilmarnock, Alloa, Dundee, Aberdeen, and one hub is soon to be opened in the Highland region. Each of the hub is at all effects a national asset that offers access to private 5G networks testbeds. And for the purpose of the one competition, the key takeaway for you is that the hubs are a gateway to the regional ecosystem through a dedicated engagement team. We are having strong connections with the local authorities and key industries, spanning from agriculture, energy, logistics, manufacturing, education, and also healthcare. Our work, of course, is not limited to Scotland itself, but we are also having a role in the wider UK future telecom sector. In particular, we are proud to be the program managers for the ongoing DSIT-funded Frank 5G Devolution program in the context of the diversification of the telecom supply chain. The consortium that we are managing is formed by Atron, which is the leading partner, Accelercom, eSpace, the University of York, and BT. And given the national presence that we are having, we are also supporting the delivery of the UK TIN Nations and Regions agenda. Next slide, please. So for the specific needs about this DSIT competition, what we can offer is that given our network of hubs and their connections, we can offer to any consortium an ecosystem of venues where you can test your Open RAN high density and Air IC solutions. We are having conversation with the key stakeholders in ports, airports, large campuses, and also event venues that are open to create use cases and also to hosting tests and demonstrations of these new technologies. Second point, I will say that we also want to build on our successful DSIT program rollout, and we are open to offering to any consortium our impartial and reliable PMO services. And as a last point, we can also complement our offer by providing a marketing and communication function to any consortium. And this is to maximize the dissemination and sharing of the results, enabling wider industry learnings and informing future decisions around the use of Open RAN equipment. What we are looking for, well, basically, we are already having discussion with potential partners in the industry, but essentially we are seeking partners among telecom, hardware and software suppliers, but also among mobile network operators and system integrators that are interested in testing the new solutions in key areas of development in Scotland. And next slide, please. And here there are my contact details. So should you like to get in touch, I will be very happy to start conversation and discuss how we can collaborate for our common success. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Very good stuff. Keeping so well to time. Everyone's being so well behaved. On to our next one. We've got Ensilica. Who's speaking to that? Oh, there we go, Ian.
Yeah, that's me in Lancashire. Let's see, we've got the slide.
Oh, sorry, Ian, I'm not sure we can hear you.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know. Hi, can you hear me now?
We can hear you now.
Okay, great. Thanks very much. I'm Ian Lancashire, CEO of Ensilica. I'd like to introduce Ensilica as a potential partner and talk about the proposed Open RAN chipset architecture development consortium to address the hardware theme of the one competition. So firstly, Ensilica, I mean, we're a fabulous semiconductor company with world-class expertise in developing communication chips, including RF, millimeter wave, and complex beamforming and baseband. We've more than 160 staff. The majority of those are located in the UK, and the company has end-to-end experience in developing and manufacturing complex communication chips with resilient semiconductor supply chains. Our skills cover both sort of sub-gigahertz to 30 gigahertz transceivers in FinFET and CMOS technologies. And we have system level chip experience for things like MIMO beamforming, ARM integration in technology nodes down to 6 nanometers. Experience includes things like CIFRI and other high-speed interfaces up to 56 gigabits per second. I mean, some example designs include an advanced node 32 transmit, 32 receive beamformer with fully integrated RF front end with really world-leading power and performance. Ka band RF beamformer along with a digital beamformer chip for satellite applications, as well as things like in the bottom there is a 40 gigabit per second Ethernet network processor. So the team are actually developing some of the most complex chips in Europe. Sorry, if you'd like to move to the next. Sorry, so I've done that one. So if you could move to the next one, yeah. So we're seeking partners for the consortium and ideally an experienced project lead. I mean, we've already had a number of interests about the proposed consortium from the companies listed on the right. I mean, we're seeking MNOs and network equipment providers to help define the chipset and act as potential users of the chipset and lead customers. I mean, the motivations include things like replacing FPGAs or integrating RF front end into silicon, replacing the power-hungry x86 processing architecture with things like ARM processors, and integrating specialist energy-efficient hardware accelerators into the chipset. We're also seeking things like lo-fi IP providers and IP providers with novel 5G hardware and software IP. We're also looking for partners with total quantum cryptography IP. Next slide, please. So what's the problem that we're looking to solve? I mean, chipsets are high-value components in all of the network equipment, and they're key to being able to differentiate products, but have a very high cost of entry. I mean, ASICs deliver power efficiency needed for the high-capacity Open RAN products, and all of the major network equipment providers like Huawei, Nokia, Ericsson are all developing their own ASICs. I mean, our goal with the support of DSIT is to put together a consortium to define and make a prototype chip for an Open RAN system with a resilient semiconductor supply chain. Requirements will be market-driven, but are likely to be an ARM-based, high-capacity, massive MIMO solution. With hardware accelerators to deliver best-in-the-class power and spectral efficiency. Feel free to contact me directly, and I'll also be at the Cambridge Wireless Open RAN event on Thursday evening.
Thanks very much, Ian.
Thanks.
Another interesting one, definitely. Really good stuff there. 3A Design.
Hello.
Hello, David.
Hello. Right. Thank you. So 3A Design and ICOtest are two names of the same business. 3A Design, we specialize in design consultancy for mainly in the telecom space at the moment, but we have worked in media as well. We're doing a lot of work around Wi-Fi, mobile and voice at the moment in that space, specializing in building test solutions to ensure that a product meets requirements. So that's what we're doing there. ICOtest specializes in test equipment, so producing screening enclosures for testing products in a lab environment, as well as a variety of other devices for building those kind of test solutions. The aim of both sides of this is to bring together fully automated tests. So next slide, please. We have an idea based around building some high density deployment in a sports environment. We're currently looking to work with MNOs on that. We have some support locally already, so we're continuing to try and build a coalition. We see that requires, as many people have mentioned, many different parties to be interested in that. So we are working in that area. We're also interested in potentially being a bid partner for providing test solutions into other consortia. So we're looking to develop automated tests around the voice components, data transfer, and emulated UEs as well, so that we can get more data than you would get from a standard device. So we're working across that space there. Next slide, please. So Paul Graham, who's currently over at CubeCon this week, has been working in mobile for pretty much all of his professional life. And I'll be working in media and telecoms in that time. We're very interested in talking. Ping us an email and we can see what collaboration can be achieved. I think I've beaten the hand.
Yes, you have.
Just to follow on the previous comment, I will also be at Cambridge Wireless on Thursday. So if you want to meet and talk, that might be a good opportunity.
So I'm seeing opportunities growing by the day. Definitely, it sounds like this event is going to be a really good event for potentially meeting some of these people in person. Really good get together of the ecosystem. Nicola, are you taking our next one?
I am, yes.
Digital Catapult.
Okay, thank you.
There we go.
So, Nicola Philbin from Digital Catapult, Senior Business Partnership Manager at Sonic Labs. So who are we? So Digital Catapult is an RTO, a research technology organisation, and the UK Authority for Advanced Digital Technologies. We have more than 9 years experience working on 5G technologies and future open networks, from R&D to innovation and scale up, supporting industrial applications. DC has highly regarded experts with practical experience and are commercially and technology neutral. We are a trusted government partner with a reputation of quality and delivery. And we've engaged with over 500 organizations through our accelerator programs and have over 90 partners. In addition to that, as you can see on the right-hand side, we're involved in a number of projects. So DC is leading the pathway to open networks and 6G innovation projects, such as the 5G Victory, Reason, and the UK TIN initiatives. Next slide, please. Thank you. So as a consortium partner, we can offer the RAN intelligent controller expertise across a number of areas, including design and test, system integration, conducting trials to quantify the merits of the RIC user cases with the X and the R apps in a live HDD environment. What we can also do is co-develop the RIC applications, focusing on, but not limited to, energy efficiency, traffic steering, private networks, AI, and machine learning automation. Another area we can focus on is the business analysis for the total cost of ownership. So we can do this focusing primarily on research, and then we can also add value into the equation by supporting the innovation ecosystem and engagement and education across a number of ways. Next slide, please. Yes. So last but not least, we also have Sonic Lab as a service. So we can offer 2 areas here. We can support pre-staging of the Open RAN chain in a HDD network environment. We can also leverage our expertise across Open RAN integration, interoperability, performance testing across the 5G core network, the CU, the DU, the RU, the RIC, and the value chain. As DC, we are growing our capabilities, knowledge, and experience. We're tackling today's challenges for open networking and interoperability to build a foundation for future experimentation and especially test and measurement, leveraging Sonic Labs, of course. We are building a strong consensus between academia and industry through UK TIN collaboration, and we have a clear and credible roadmap contributing to the 6G roadmap. What our position for the DSIT 1 ecosystem competition is we are seeking partners for the RIC and the TCO element, and also offering Sonic Labs as a service. For next steps, please engage us through the collaborative research email address highlighted on the screen. And please send your interest or consortium invitations where we would like to join forces to support and deliver successful proposals and projects. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Nicola. Bang on time. Up next, we have NEC Europe.
Yeah, hi, good afternoon, everyone. This is Horam Kayam here from NEC Europe. I'm part of the pre-sales team. Pre-sales team sits under the Open RAN Center of Excellence of NEC, based in London. So many of you may be familiar with NEC. It's a global company established in 1899, so more than 100 years old, and it works across many sectors, providing solution and services across various sectors, including the telecom. Next slide, please. So in relation to the Open RAN technologies, we have quite a broad portfolio, all the way from radio products. So our massive MIMO product was the industry's first Open RAN based massive MIMO radio from NEC, which we have deployed commercially. We have the transport solution, core network as well, then the SMO and the RIC platforms. For the purpose of this project, especially we are introducing our open virtualized RAN software for the CU and DU part, which is explained a little bit more in the next slide. So if you can move to the next slide, please. So we have been working as a neutral system integrator for a while with various organizations, trying to bring the ecosystem partner together to deliver the end-to-end solution. But we felt the need that we need to develop our own software, and we announced that last year, and we had quite a good engagement during the MWC, and that's the new piece of the overall solution which we want to demonstrate through this project. So the NEC Open RAN virtualized RAN software for the CU and DU is the key focus within our proposal. So it's based on the 3GPP and ORAN standard, so easy to integrate with third-party solutions. And we have already started working interoperability with various hardware and software vendors. And we are more than happy to engage with other partners by offering this solution. So next slide, please. So what we can offer, we could be a prime or partner offering industry-leading massive MIMO solution for high-density traffic area deployment. We are offering our own CU and DU software, including RIC platform. And we are offering our system integration services, which we had quite a state-of-the-art lab based in the UK, offering IoT, DQA, blueprint validation, radio conformance testing, and so on. And who we are looking for, primarily an MNO or even a private network vertical market segment to address the vertical market segment. Any HDD venue owner, if anybody has the access, that will be our preference as well. We need to work with neutral host for private network solutions, and any specific use case which needs the 5G and 6G network. And last, we are also looking for non-massive MIMO radio, especially for the indoor and outdoor small cells deployment. Our contact detail, I think Gary from our team is on this call as well. So you can reach out to any one of us through these contact points. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. Another really good one there, very clear. And again, it's excited to see more links joining up. It's really good to see everyone, the whole community coming out here and showing us what they've got. So next up, we've got asset market.
Hi there. Thanks, William. I'm Jeff Davis, the CEO of Asset Market. Maybe you can hop to the next slide. So Asset Market is a software platform. The way to think of us is like the Airbnb for telecommunications infrastructure. So we have on our platform analytics to figure out what telecoms or digital connectivity services are needed where. And we provide an online process to help optimize the deployment of wireless devices by connecting wireless device providers with both local government and private landowners who have the sites capable of hosting those devices. Next slide. So we're like another company that was on the call. We've been involved closely in the DSIT program for wireless deployment. We currently are supporting 6 local authorities along the M4 corridor, as well as 7 of the local authorities in West London to accelerate wireless deployment using our platform. We're working with the major carriers in the UK and most of the main neutral hosts. So there's a few things that we can bring to this. So first up is we have a map-based analytics platform to help figure out what services are needed to support HDD applications where. So we can model things like vehicular traffic, footfall, demand for IoT devices, and so on, and show that all geospatially. So we can bring to the consortium the ability to understand what are the use cases where this technology would apply and what are the benefits. The second thing is that we have right now about 500,000 assets on the platform, which are suitable candidates in high traffic locations to host equipment. So we can be the facilitator to help optimize the deployment of the networks by understanding what structures are available to host the equipment. And we can then also use our software to help streamline the process between the equipment providers and the landowners for deployment of that equipment. Finally, as part of the consortium, we can provide a visual way to track the progress of the equipment deployment and also to allow the tracking of benefits against the use cases that the project is trying to achieve. So in summary, what we bring to the consortium is a set of analytics to help figure out what's this project really trying to achieve, how will it benefit the public and private sectors, provide a way to accelerate the deployment of the network and to be able to track progress in a visual way. Next slide. There's a couple names on there. So I'm Jeff Davis again. Feel free to ping me something in the chat. I'll also put my details in the chat or send me an email and a number. And my colleague Jay Patel is also an appropriate contact. He's head of partnerships in the UK. Thank you for your time.
Thanks very much, Jeff. Really good stuff. On to number 19. Why win?
Yeah, William, thank you. My name is also William. I'm William Shi. So I'm sending regards from the Netherlands. Okay, so unfortunately, I'm not in England. Okay, so the company we win. Sorry, the Asia spelling and the pronunciation are not really matching together, but it's a we win. The company pronounced we win together. Okay, that's easier to remember. So while we are hardware server manufacturers, and mainly in the telecom area, we focus very much on the DU, CU, and core data center servers. The headquarters is from Taiwan, Taipei. We have a huge factory in Europe, that's in Czech Republic, Brno. Our yearly turnover is around 10 billion US dollars, and we are shipping around 200,000 servers per quarter. Next slide, please. Well, I didn't put the wording, say what we do. I just show an example of a diagram. Say this is what our Wiwin hardware server can do. So this is an example of how we structure our server in terms of Open RAN. So you can see this is containerized server structure. We use acceleration cards, and we have RU connected different network cards, etc. And master Kubernetes master worker nodes, etc. So this is basically what we are shooting. And so I apologize for the title mistake. We actually intends to play a role of a bid partner. So we are looking for a bid lead in England. So you know, we can work together to work on some projects. Next slide, please. Yeah, well, please one more time, William. Well, this is my contact mail address on the top of this slide. So I use this slide as well. Our coverage is worldwide. We have factory in America, in Europe, in Malaysia, in China, etc. And sales office is also in US, Europe, China, Japan, Korea, the different locations. Okay, thank you very much for listening to the quick pitch here.
Thanks very much. Very tiny there. And moving on, we've got. Oh, say again. Come on. Stoke City Football Club.
Thanks, William. Hi, everyone. My name's Darren Palmer. I'm the Technology Services Manager here at Stoke City Football Club. So a little bit of who we are. So, sorry, next slide. So Stoke City, the professional football club currently participating within the EFL Championship. So we were founded in 1863, and we're one of the 12 founding members of the Football League in 1988. Sorry, 1888 even. I'm flown. In addition to hosting around about 30 first team matches per season, we host a number of matches at the grounds, including the under-21s and the ladies team. We've got a fan attendance typically at the moment around 20,000 per match. Capacity is 30,500. During 2018, we saw an average of 29,000 fans to attend a match, and we're hoping to get back to those figures. And of course, we are doing our best to get ourselves back into the Premier League. So venue, it's utilised quite heavily outside of match days. We operate events such as concerts, university graduation days, business events, shows, ceremonies, parties, a lot of Christmas parties, I hasten to add. The club's invested heavily in both the facilities and the equipment here. We've done a lot of renovation of the suites. We've got quite a lot of technology in those suites for patrons to use, and obviously for any of the shows and events that we allow to be conducted here. Internal IT team, we've got some pretty good experience throughout the team. It's a team of 6 basically. We've got some experience with fiber network deployment around the Stadium Bowl, hospitality Wi-Fi solutions internally within the actual main stand, meeting room technologies, turnstile access solutions, Microsoft 365 deployment, and large-scale EPOS, making it fully contactless. Next slide, please. So what are our goals? Clearly, we're a venue, ideal really for a partnership or a consortium. We're looking basically for either that'll basically lead and help us to deliver a solution for obviously, focus really on that venue location and to improve connectivity. So with the partner or consortium, obviously to seek funding to obviously cover the costs associated with. And in addition to that, to help us obviously on the side of project management, installation and configuration, ongoing maintenance, obviously surveys and benchmarks and KPIs to prove the solution obviously does the job. Next slide, please. So further info and contact details. So one of our challenges at the moment is during events, clearly you've got many thousand people, the current services, and that is either the external networks outside of the venue or those within the venue just aren't up to the job. And we find that either calls, texts or data services are sketchy, quite often not available. Outside of large-scale events, signal strength is available, but it's low to poor. We've got 3G masts built into the stadium, but obviously 4G and 5G connectivity outside of the building. It's not brilliant. It kind of works, but on a match day, no, forget it. So we'd like to improve those services at the venue, improve connectivity for attendees, and obviously cater for where the Wi-Fi doesn't. Below there, you'll see my contact details. Quite interested to, like I say, discuss with partners or consortiums on the next steps and how we would facilitate your bid.
Thanks very much. Darren, I think it sounds like there are a number of companies who would, obviously on the call, who would be able to fit the bill. So please do get in touch. Get in touch post the call.
Thank you. Thanks, Will.
Purview Services is our next one.
Hi, everyone. I'm Sandeep. Yeah, first slide, please. I'm happy to see you all on the platform, and thanks to the One team. Purview has been a digital leader. We do digital cloud data analytics, networking, and infra services, including 5G enablers. And we are spread out in 18+ countries and headquartered in Edinburgh and London. And we have global offices everywhere and delivery centers in India, and outside. So we are also having our business divided into 62% in UK and Europe 18%, and rest of the world is 20%. And long-term clients in banking, in many sectors in the government of UK. And we've been providing, including the NHS, where we give geo-intelligent solutions to them. And we have 5 in-house enterprise solutions and strategic partnerships and certificates and all that. And we are kind of in multiple verticals. We give services in digital transformation, AI, machine learning, and the verticals are all listed out there, including BFSI, information and entertainment, manufacturing, transportation, logistics. We kind of are into technology services, professional services, and operational excellences. A very sustained team over the past, from 2009, a very good track record with our clients and customers. And also the products that we have developed and which are being used in large-scale fleet managements, in mining, in many places where the signals are weak and things like that. So we have been there, and we have given out applications. We're very strong in AI, data, and analytics, and we are also looking at how our solutions and the products that our proposals and all are going to help the world solve the problems using 5G technologies and beyond. Yeah, next slide, please. This particular presentation, I would love my my 5G head of 5G and network communications, Bhaskar Raju, to please talk. Bhaskar, you're on mute.
Yeah, thank you very much, Sandeep. Thank you all for giving an opportunity today to speak about, our capabilities, especially this one we have developing the future-ready communication platform for the train to ground and ground to train communication to support the high bandwidth availability and achieving the 5G speeds, 5G latency, and 5G enablers. And in this process, we are proposing a 5G solutions, and we have been kind of working in 5G, including millimeter wave and DSS and CBRS-based solutions. And here we'd like to propose a CBRS-based, which is a Citizen Broadband Radio Services, which is 3500 megahertz to 3750 megahertz, which is kind of a low frequency where it can be, have more penetrations. And here we are proposing a solution which includes the 5G RAN and 5G core, and in order to provide on-train computing and optimizing secure 5G network. And our solutions also integrate diversify systems and services integration. And we are, we have been doing research in, and also we want to, evolve, check 4x4, 8x4, and 8x8 MIMO core network on client services. So this is kind of our proposal where we'd like to, have a 5G complete standalone RAN and standalone core network in order to build for the train to ground and ground to train communications with the high speed mobility. Yeah, next slide, please. So here is our tech stack. So we have been working on all kind of radios, which include 3G, 4G, and 5G, and Wi-Fi, Wi-Fi 5, Wi-Fi 6, and we have a transport which include the back haul, front haul, mid haul, and SD-WAN solution, software defined.
All right, I think we're running over a little bit there, so I think we're going to need to can you, just go on to the contact thing. I think you've got your contact details on there. And this will be made available later. So sorry to cut you off, but we've got to keep running. So please do reach out there. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Got Radisys.
Thanks a lot. Good afternoon, William. Hope you can hear me.
Yep, we can hear you.
Great. If you can jump to the next slide, please. Yeah. So Radisys is headquartered in Hillsborough, US, but we also have offices in UK and Bracknell and India as well. So founded in 1987. And we have a kind of history of over 35 years as spin-off from Intel. And in 2020, we have been acquired by GeoPlatform Limited, which then given the company to access to the resources and the support to innovate and grow and to offer a range of really cutting-edge solutions that enable the CSPs to deliver the digital experience to their end customers. So we are involved in different, the spectrum of the services. So starting from the left-hand side, the digital endpoints that we offer, the smartphones, IoT devices, smart energy, or the smart metering solutions. The second, the bucket is the which will be the subject of this the competition as well, open and disaggregated access network solution based on 5G and the FTTX. And also on top of this connection and the devices layer, we offer the real-time application services and the programmability for our customers to monetize the investment on their the network infrastructure. And last but not least, we also provide these end-to-end lifecycle network services, which is again including all the way up from consulting to the deployment, integration, and optimization. If you can please jump to the next one. Right, our vision is, I think we can probably summarize in three keywords: is the openness, disaggregation, and intelligence. We are a really strong believer of the power of the open networks, and we provide all the products are based on the either open software, hardware, or the interfaces. Yeah, I think we believe that this using the open software and hardware as well as the open interfaces helps the unlock the vendor locking position and also brings value for the customers. Next one, please. So what we are in terms of offering to the competition, to the one competition on the product side, so we have fully integrated, tested, and validated CODU server product, as well as a wide range of the RU portfolio covering different bands. But of course, on the RU side, we are not just limited the RUs provided by Radisys, but also we are quite open to work with the third-party RU vendors. And on top of that, we also provide the centralized element management system for the onboarding of the network elements, and also providing this OMP and the configuration functions. In terms of the deployment flexibility, so we do support these all the way, the FWA, macro, private networks, and the in-building solutions with our products. And the last one, please. Yeah. So what we are pursuing is on the partnership side, or maybe just what we are offering. So we have the proven track record of success in DCMS or DSIT, the Frank project. Also, we are a member of this Digital Catapult Lab since the Sonic Labs time. In addition to the UK presence, we have the extensive experience on the software development and the professional services, which we leverage actually for the Frank and the Digital Catapult. So what we are looking for in terms of the partnership, so we are interested in collaborating with a variety of partners, including MNOs, system integrators, neutral host providers, academia, the 5G ecosystem partners from RU, Antenna Core, Rake, and the cloud. And we are also particularly interested in, and we have a really active roadmap to support the ideas as you see on the right-hand side, from Rake to the multi-operator core network, to the millimeter wave, NTN, MIMO, AI-based slicing, IAB, and the private 5G opportunities. And last one, please. So we are really keen to look to hearing from any potential partners to join us for the bit, and please feel free to contact either myself or my colleague Elias from these contact details. Thanks a lot for the time.
Thank you very much. Really good one there, and seeing some good description chats in the chat box. Definitely with some of those kind of places, it's very possible to kind of come together as single consortia, with multiple use places coming together. So it could be good to join forces on some of those with similar needs. And I think this is our final one, which Sam Botterill, who I think is without slides. Oh.
Yes, that's correct. Without slides. Good afternoon, everyone. My name's Sam Botterill. The reason there's no slides is I've very much founded a startup. It's called Scratch. I put some details in the messages. I'm taking my idea to a company called Cadent, which is a gas company. Some of you may have heard of it. I'm working with them to develop solutions on forecasting for highly constrained grid networks. I'm from the energy industry mostly, and so delving into telecoms is a really new space for me. But we're constantly told in our industry that we have to go and talk to other industries because they have similar constraint problems, and we could learn from them. My sort of ask really is I'm just keen to speak to anybody who has constraint management issues and wants to think of other interesting solutions to them involving better forecasting of where that demand is going to be. I think that it'd be great to work and make a bid for the demand management element of this competition, which is number one. But I completely understand that it's 5 weeks away and we've not yet met properly. So I think without further ado, I think I would probably just end there. My details are in the chat, and really just keen to reach out to see which elements from this industry work in sort of better constraint management of telecom systems, or certainly sort of examples like the Stoke City Football Club, and I understand Wimbledon as well. Darren, it was interesting to read your piece, and I may certainly be in touch. But it's all about bringing better use and deployment of that technology by, frankly, knowing when and where people are going to turn up. I put a little bit of spiel in the piece saying that I'm trying to draw together a consortium to work across different industries, but with this one focus in mind. Be happy to talk in more detail and give you a full presentation as to what the idea is. Thanks very much indeed for your time and for all those excellent presentations, because I've learned masses just watching this. Thank you.
Thanks very much, Sam. I've been told we have one more. So if that's what the hands up are about, don't worry, we haven't forgotten you. I'll move on to the next one. Who's taking this one? Oh, I don't think we can hear you. I'm not sure your mic is working correctly. It may be muted on your computer, perhaps. It's not on the. Yeah, we're not getting any sound. It doesn't. Yeah, sorry. No, I don't think we're getting you through. Hopefully, maybe he's got one last try. I think with a different piece of.
Okay, am I audible now?
We can hear you now. There we go. Just in the nick of time. Off. Yep. Off we go.
Am I audible now?
Yeah, we can hear you now. Yep. Ready when you are. I don't think you can hear us. Okay. I'm not sure it's working. I think because of the tech issues, I think we're probably going to have to call it there. I think it's unfortunately the tech doesn't seem to be quite working there. Thank you very much, everyone, for attending today. We will send out these slides. I'll just run through that one quickly so you can have a quick see. If you do have questions, please get in touch with us via the.
Yeah, am I audible now, William?
Oh, yeah, we can hear you now.
Oh, great, lovely.
Oh, they're good. Yep, take us away. Sorry, it seems to have stopped again. We had you for a second there, but it doesn't seem to be working anymore. Yeah, very sorry on that one. I will go to your last slide. So I think that's the end of our slide deck. Maybe put your contact details in there. This deck will be made available so people can reach out to you. And thank you very much for everyone attending. I think we've had kind of over 100 people attending, so it's been really well attended. A complete, really wide variety of stakeholders, both telecoms and not, which has been really encouraging. So thank you very much, and we look for. I mean, I really hope you guys use this as a good opportunity to start making some calls and getting in touch with people. For those that have said they're happy for us to kind of reach out post the event, we'll be getting in touch with some of you and maybe trying to make some links there and get people together and sending out more information, especially about the collaboration list. So just one last plug for that. We will send out the link. But please, if you want to get that up, we're going to be publishing it on Friday. So please have it in by the end of Thursday. And then you'll be on the first list. We will update it, I think, multiple times a week after that. So, but the sooner the better, really, to help you with kind of building up these consortia. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope you have a really nice rest of your day. And thank you so much for giving us your time. And best of luck making Form your consortia, and please, if you have anything else you need from us, please do just reach out via the inquiries line, and we'll do everything we can to help you. Thank you very much, everybody. Speak soon.